for 4 days in order to reach the volcano.
I didn't know the AFAR region at all, or the Great East African Rift, and I wanted to know it. I wanted to see the great book of geology that is AFAR, and of course the ERTALE lava lake. I love seeing this volcano. I've seen it change. I've seen the lava lake at different levels. I've seen it in different conditions. It makes me really happy to come back and see this volcano. The gases are starting to sting a little.
The gases released from the volcano are mainly water vapor, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, methane, and rare gases such as radon.
Hey, look!
Here, at the North Crater Pit and the South Crater Pit, over a 2-year period, from 1972 to 1974, these two lava lakes spilled over. They spilled over simultaneously for 2 years. The lava flow we're walking on, and all that was glowing. It completely filled the caldera, and then it went down the sides of the volcano, on the south and north flanks. Imagine the caldera. It's huge.
Fanny is a geology student. She's looking for the hair of Pele, the goddess of fire, force, and creation. The hair of Pele is the name given to these fine particles of hot ash, stretched out by the wind, resulting in these long, thin strands that look like hair.
Here, the weight of time doesn't exist. Here, I feel like we're always at the birth of the world. I'd like to come back here alone, like I always do on certain volcanoes. All alone, just for the pleasure of it, to feel good. But here it's impossible, because with all the transport problems, you can't come alone. What could stop me on a volcano? When the projectiles come too close, or when the lava flow comes too near. But it's true. I try to always push it to the limit. And the limit is not always easy to find. I like pushing it to the limit, where you can still get away with it. You play with the volcano. You go a little closer, you pull back, you go closer, and it's a game. It's a game that can become dangerous, so you have to watch out. You have to stay aware. Can you feel the heat?
We can get really close.
No. It's okay. Yeah, but don't go near it. Stay here.
A Of the 600 active volcanoes on Earth, there are only 4 permanent lava lakes. A lava lake is the top of a column of magma exposed to the open air, a glimpse of what is happening at the center of the Earth. This lake is permanently linked to a very deep magma chamber about a mile beneath their feet. All kinds of research can be carried out on a lava lake. For instance, thanks to microphones set up as close as possible to the lake, scientists are able to measure the pressure of the bubbles of gas that rise and burst on the surface. It's thus possible to calculate the depth of the eruptive shaft and at times its diameter.
It's also interesting to have a rangefinder and measure the exact level of the lake. You've seen that between morning and night, there's a variation of several meters, maybe 2 or 3 meters. It's a regular fluctuation every 2, 3, 4 hours. Could be interesting. Aerial photography is important too because you can see the changes in profile of the 2 pipes. There are landslides, there's subsidence, there are upheavals of tens of centimeters or even meters. It happens. We don't know much about how a lava lake works, or what else it can still teach us. We're really at the beginning. There's so much more to learn. To really learn what happens inside a lava lake, the only way is to go down into the magma chamber. Here, the thickness of the Earth's crust is relatively thin. They think it's less than 5 kilometers, so it would be a perfect place to go inside the pipe, go down into the magma reservoir, and see further down what's happening in the rift. That's a dream.
The adventure continues with the incredible Dalol volcano that lies in the AFAR depression. The group will descend to a depth of 426 feet below sea level in the most unhospitable area of the Danakil Desert. This piece of land torn in every direction by the contours of the Earth's crust.
We've just reached the only watering place in Danakil, so be careful. Danakil, let me remind you, is practically 1/8 the size of France. So water is incredibly precious here. I know it's been a week since we washed, but you can rinse off a tiny bit with your hands, and that's all.
The temperature soon becomes unbearable. From here on, each member of the group has to drink at least 1.75 gallons of water a day. The Ethiopian team loads up as much water as possible because, after this watering point, there's no other water source. The group sets off on an undetermined period in the most hostile and hottest desert on the planet. It takes 2 rough days of travel on desert trails to reach one of the smallest and strangest volcanoes on the planet, Dalol, which stands in the middle of a huge salt lake. Without bearings, driving on the unstable terrain can be very dangerous. Lake Karun lies 393 feet below sea level. The layer of salt can be as thick as 3,000 to 6,000 feet in places. This dried-up salt lake is the result of several incursions made by the sea into this region.
You know, The legend says that here on Lake Karun, only the devil can live because it's so hot.